Hello, Trina. That was so exciting. No, like I learned so much and like actually learned it. Like it was such a good class. I'm so happy you're doing this. It was super, 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 super. Mwah. I love you. And thank you.
Which is me. And so it was like, so I left you a message on there because I was like, wow. And I shared your video because, well, you have such amazing energy. I just love you.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, Anita. I'm going to learn really basic astrology because a lot of my people, they like to watch my videos, but they get a little bit um overwhelmed when I start talking too much about certain things like planets and what they're doing. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So it's like this. Astrology is the stage, and the planets, like the sun, the moon, the Mars, Venus, they're the actors. And the
Yes.
zodiac signs, Aries to Pisces, the zodiac
Hmm.
signs are the clothes that they wear in their part. And then they all play
I
on the
love that.
stage. The zodiac wheel is the stage. Okay, it's looking good. All right. Tell me if you can see Cosmic Codes, Learn Astrology with Trina.
Yep.
Yes.
Yay! Okay, that's what we're doing today. So I'm showing you a little astrology so that you can start reading charts right away. I'm sort of like one of those people that are fast teacher. So I'm only going to deal with 5 planets, as you see there. We've got 5 little glyphs there. There's a few more planets out there, but these are the main ones I'm going to focus on for someone's personality. Let's say you're in the dating, you're trying to date someone. If you can get their birthday and run their chart real quick, you will get enough info to know a little bit about them. Okay, so why do we learn astrology? Well, for clarity, we want to understand our purpose, right? Our strengths, our timing in life, which I'll teach you in later courses, connection, to improve your relationships with your kids, with your spouse, with your boss, for example. How does he run, right? And then for confidence, because then you can make better decisions in love, life, and business. So that's why we're learning astrology today. I'm Trina, if you've never met me before, an intuitive strategist. I used to be a power engineering teacher at the college, and I used to do computer network administration. So I'm very data oriented. That's why I like astrology too, because it's easy to, put data together. And you can visit me at themoontree.org. I also am the author of The Power of Eight, Chakra Lenormand, and Oracle cards. All right. So this is what we're learning today. This is what we're learning. What is this? Think of this as a stage, and you're looking at the stage, okay? Inside the stage, there are those planets, those colorful little planets, and they are the characters, they're the actors on this stage, okay? And then they wear an outfit, so it gives them some kind of character plot. Okay, an outfit meaning Aries to Pisces. The zodiac sign is the clothing that the planet wears. Okay, so we're going to start today by take a moment, and you can do this on your phone too. Go to astro-seek.com. I want you to do this with me right now, okay? Um, Go to astro-seek.com. This is a free horoscope chart generator. Okay. And you just choose the free horoscopes link and then choose birth chart. So do that, and then you should get some kind of screen like that birth chart right here. Tell me when you get to this part, and then we'll move on to filling in the rest. Your date of birth, your time of birth, your birth city. And then before you press calculate chart, though, I wanted you to look at that circled area, extended settings. I want you to change the house system to whole sign. I know a lot of us are used to Placidus, but because in my future courses, I'll be teaching you how to do timing. You can only do it using whole sign system. This is the way of the world. This is the new way. This is how we do it. So we want to choose the whole sign house system. So are you guys doing it with me?
I'm trying.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, take your time. We have all the time in the world. No worries. And now we're ready to go. So now you should have something like this, but a little zoomed out. I zoomed this in because I zoomed in on the planet positions here with the writing part, like the text. So we're going to focus on some of these little glyphs. So now that you have your chart with you, you're getting to know what it feels like now to generate a chart. And I know that felt like a big kind of learning curve, but this is great. This is the best thing to do like this step by step. All right, so we're going to move on to the next. What are we going to look at? Well, I talked to you already. Those planets are the actors. They express different parts of your personality. We're going to be looking at these 5 actors, these 5 planets. The sun, which is the main one, uh, Juanita's a Pisces. I'm an Aquarius. Lucille is a Libra, I believe, right, Lucille? You're a Libra.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then we're going to talk about the moon, which is your internal feelings, your body, and your emotions. And by the way, today, November 5th, is the full moon in Taurus. So we're going to
Mhm.
talk about the moon's important. And then we've got, well, these are all important. Mercury is a planet I love to look at to know what a person, how he or she thinks, how he or she communicates. It's your mind, it's your thinking, it's your talking. Mercury in Greek mythology was the messenger. So think of it that way. And then Venus, Venus was her name. That's the love, the goddess, the feminine. That's your love language. That's how you like to be loved. And it's what you love. It's kind of what you value as well. Okay. So, like, if you were trying to get someone to like you, maybe like let's say you wanted to get hired at a job, so you want the boss or the person interviewing you to like you. If you knew that person's birthday, you could calculate the Venus and see, oh, what did they like, right? Okay, and I'll try to give them more of that. All right. So the love language, I like to call it. And then Mars, that's like the man. If Venus was the woman and the goddess, well, Mars is the Apollo. It's where our vigor and our drive and our energy and our action is. Okay. It's where we can, lots of the physical part of us too. And together, this creates the movie of you. All right. So let's start in your chart with this one. Do you see the circle? This is the sun. So look for on your chart that circle with the dot inside. That's your sun. And the glyph next to it, the clothes that it wears for Juanita, it would be a Pisces glyph. And we will learn more about the glyphs, don't worry. And then also for Lucille, she'll have a Libra glyph. That's the clothes that her son is wearing. And in this case, this is my son, and I'm wearing an Aquarius clothing, right? It's an Aquarius sun. Don't worry about the houses right now or the stage that they're on. I'm just worrying about the sun right now. And this is the sun. This is our core energy. The sun is our identity. It's kind of very general. It's the purpose in life. It's how we shine. It's the word sun is taking, like in French, soleil, or in Latin, soul, S-O-L. It's the soul of you. You know what I mean? It's how you shine and express yourself. And it moves through all 12 zodiac signs in a year. So each one is about 30 days or 1 month, right? So right now the sun is in Scorpio part of the sky, right? We're Scorpio season. So when you watch my videos on YouTube and I say, oh, it's Scorpio season until November 21st, well, that's because the sun right here is going through Scorpio part of the sky. Okay. And then when your sun feels aligned, it's confidence. The sun shines and it's flow. But if we're ignoring the sun or it's afflicted in some way, it can make us tired. It can make us confused and just lack of confidence, right? So that's the sun. If we can know a person's moon, that's their emotional energy, the stuff their true feelings that they keep underneath. It's how we nurture ourselves. It's how we feel safe. So in your chart, like later on today, print out the chart that you just generated for yourself, print it out and start studying it and circle the sun and now circle the moon in your chart. And the moon goes fast. It goes every 2.5 days, it moves signs. So right now it's in Taurus, full moon in Taurus. But in a day or so, whenever, it's going to be moving into the next sign of Gemini, right? So it goes every 2.5 days. It goes through all 12 signs in about a month. So you'll have your full moon and your new moon every month, right? When your moon is aligned, you feel calm, you feel safe, emotionally safe, and you feel intuitive. When it's ignored, you get those mood swings. Think the word moon, moody, right? Mood swings and burnout. And you know, the moon is often about our body stuff too, stuff with the body, because in medical astrology, they focus a lot on the moon. Then I love to look at a person's Mercury because that's how they think, the mental energy. It's their thoughts, their words, how they communicate. It's how they share ideas. This is a really good one to look at for your kid. How does your kid think? Right? How does your kid like to be spoken to? Or how does he or she like to communicate? How is their learning style? This is all about the brain. Look at the glyph. It's like a person with these antennas on top of their head, right? When you look at the picture of it, Mercury, it looks like, oh, I'm learning. I got my antenna up. I'm trying to learn something, right? And Mercury is about 2 or 3 weeks in each sign, so not quite a month for each sign. And then you'll hear about Mercury retrograde, and that's when our communications get a little bit wonky or delayed. You'll hear stuff, oh, Mercury retrograde, that's why my printer broke, or that's why I lost all my data, or blah, 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 right? So we're not really talking about retrogrades today because that's getting a little complicated, and I'm just being very simple today just to show you what the planets are. But Mercury, the thoughts, the communication, the messenger in Greek mythology, when it's aligned, you have clear, confident expression and the way you speak, right? And when it's ignored, you get confusion and miscommunication. Now, Juanita, for example, you are an intuitive guide yourself and you do a lot with cards. So it would be fun to get some of your people's birth dates and look at their Mercury, because if you start to see a pattern, well, a lot of my clients have Mercury in um, Libra, let's say, which we're going to learn about the signs more, but that would mean they need a gentle communication from you. And right, like
Yeah.
a lot of my people are Virgo thinkers, and they like things like this structured. How I'm going step by step with you in this slideshow kind of thing. They love that. They and a step by step process is what Virgo likes. And anyways, I'm just saying Mercury's really cool to look at to see how to communicate, especially with your husband or your wife or your kids or these important people. Maybe the mother-in-law that you usually don't get along because maybe you're not giving enough to the Mercury of her, or you know what I mean? So it's kind of cool. Okay, then we have Venus. I love Venus. Venus brings us money and love, and it's the things we love. It's how we attract. It's what brings us joy. um Venus is about 3 to 4 weeks per sign, almost a month, like the sun. It's pretty close to how the sun travels. That's why a lot of people's Venus is the same as their sun sign. Like me, I'm an Aquarius sun, but I'm also an Aquarius Venus. And you might be the same too. A lot of times our Venus is the same as our sun because they're same kind of orbit or whatever. They travel through the 12 signs. Venus is a little slower than the sun, though. Or sorry, faster than the sun. And when it's aligned, you're magnetic, you're abundant, you're prosperous, and you're happy. And when it's ignored, well, you feel dissatisfied and frustration from being dissatisfied. And there's that imbalance there. The Venus is a good thing to look at if you're trying to date a man and seeing what kind of woman, like you'll look in a man's chart to see their Venus and see, oh, this is the kind of woman he likes, right? And so then we get to Mars, which is the man, like a man vibe. It almost looks like, the man's private parts, right? Or you could think of it as a sword, right? Because it's very action oriented. It's a fiery hot, it's where the vitality of us comes from. We have motivation where our Mars is. We're really ambitious about that, and we're really driven wherever Mars is in our chart. It's how we take action and assert ourselves. And Mars is kind of slow. It only goes through the 12 signs in about 2 years. So it's a little slower moving. And when it's aligned, we're courageous, brave, and have momentum. And then when it's ignored, well, we'll feel frustration and burnout. So these are the 5 planets that we're going to talk about. So we've got the planets, which were the actors, and we've got the clothes, which were the zodiac signs that the actors wear. The zodiac signs, Aries to Pisces, that's the vibe that those planets we just talked about or take on. Okay, so we're going to do this now. Now, when we get into the signs of Aries to Pisces, and we're talking about the clothes that the actors wear, well, there's 4 categories, the 4 elements. There's the fire element. So Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And you might want to screenshot this slide because it's important if you could tell, like, if a person has a lot of, like, okay, my brother, he's got a lot of Aries in his chart, for example, and he's like very fiery. They're fit, athletic. There's action, there's leadership, there's confidence there. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius has inspiration. So it's the fire, light a fire under your butt, so to speak. And then there's the earth signs like Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. This is the stability element, right? This is results oriented. This is practicality. And then we have the air, like Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And air is very social. There's a lot of the ideas, lots of communication in the air. It's like airwaves, right? And radio signals. There's communication there, connection there, very social. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And then we have the water signs. If you have a lot of water signs in your charts, right? We pulled our chart already, and we're going to look at those 5 planets and see, do a lot of them come out with water? That can mean that you're super intuitive. It's the intuition water. It's healing. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Juanita, you being a Pisces, you are super intuitive and caring and emotional, right? And you feel everything as a Pisces, which we're going to learn about in a bit here. And then Libra, that's an Aquarius. So I'm Aquarius, and Lucille, you're a Libra. Me and you're both from the air. That's why we're really social. We can kind of talk to anybody. Communication is important, sharing ideas and stuff like that, right? So when we look at the elements, where are we kind of lacking? Like, you might notice, oh crap, I have like no earth signs. Well, you could do a shortcut, and I'll teach you the shortcut, is go to hang out with an earth sign person. Like, whatever you're lacking in your chart, go hang out with the person who has it in their chart. That's the simplest way. And then the secondary way is, like, let's say you didn't have fire in your chart. Then you start doing fire things like adding candlelight dinners, right? Or having fire elements in your house and bringing that into your house. But the best way is to just hang out with someone of that sign for the fastest way to balance out your elements in your chart. So fire acts, earth grounds, air thinks, and water to feel. So here's those zodiac glyphs, right? Those are those little things on your chart that we pulled. And so, if we look at Pisces sun, so Pisces for Juanita, those are like the two fish underwater. Aquarius me, very air sign. Those look like radio waves, in the air. And then for Libra, for Lucille, that's like the balance. Her glyph is like a balance. Okay. Because Libra is like harmony and the balance and the scale and stuff like that. So you get to know the glyphs in your chart. So like I circled this one before, the sun in Aquarius, right? So let's start with all the signs, because now you want to get the flavor. So let's say your kid has and you realize, oh, my kid has their Mercury in, so the way they think, the way they talk, let's say it's in Aries. Well, they're bold when they speak, and think. They're brave, they're full of spark, but they could be act first, think later with the Mercury in Aries, for example, right? The Aries vibe is just the pioneer. It's a fire element. It's bold. It's leadership. It actually starts the zodiac chart. Spring has sprung in the northern hemisphere, and Aries starts the show. The first letter of the, first letter of the alphabet, also the first vowel of the alphabet, right? Is the first. It's a leadership vibe, and it starts March 21st to April 19th. And when your Aries is aligned, that shows confidence and courage. And when it's shadowed, that can make a person very impulsive and impatient. So there's the good side and the bad side of Aries. Like my brother, he's an Aries. Think about the Aries in your life. Okay. Taurus, this is an earth sign. And I know, Lucille, you are a Taurus rising, I believe. And so
Yeah.
that's very much the builder. I have a kid, Hunter. He's a Taurus sun. His sun is in Taurus. He's a Taurus. So they're grounded. There's patience, but they're pleasure loving because they're ruled by that planet Venus. Remember the goddess? And we're not going to talk too much about rulerships and stuff until later courses. But Taurus energy creates the stability in our life, the comfort, and the beauty that lasts. And so when your Taurus in your chart feels aligned, there's a peaceful to it. There's peace to it. There's prosperity to that. Taurus loves money. Okay. Taurus loves security and values the slow and steady way, not fast paced. So if your kid had Mercury in Taurus, the way they talk, the way they think, they don't like being rushed, and they could be a little stubborn. There's a rigid to Taurus. It's the bull, right? The bull doesn't like to move too fast. So when it's shadowed, when Taurus isn't feeling its best, there's the stubbornness and the feeling of being stuck. Okay. Gemini, who knows a Gemini in their life? They're always the social butterfly, right? Gemini is the air element. So lots of social, lots of talking, multitasking. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the messenger. So Gemini is very good at talking and communicating, broadcasting, learning, sharing ideas, teaching, connecting ideas with people, multitasking, social butterfly. And when Gemini in our chart is aligned, that's very clever and communicative. And when it's shadowed, though, it's too scattered, it's too restless, can't sit still, feels anxiety, right? Then we've got Cancer. I'm a Cancer moon. My moon is in Cancer. And so this is like the nurturer. It's a water sign. Cancer's the crab. I should have showed you those cartoon glyphs to go with the regular glyphs, but I didn't. But I'll just talk about it along the way. When we study Cancer, we see that they're very emotional, they're very protective, need emotional security, intuitive, because they're part of the water, right? Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces are part of that water um, element. So they're all intuitive and nurturing to a point. And Cancer cares deeply. They create safety for themselves and for other people. They're ruled by the moon. So if you have Cancer really prominent in your chart, the moon, whatever it's doing, is really going to affect you. I mean, I'm a Cancer moon and a Cancer rising. I get my periods on the new and full moon. And so I'm really ruled by the moon for sure. And so when your Cancer in your chart is aligned, you feel compassionate, you feel secure, emotionally safe. When it's shadowed, you feel moody, the moon, right? And overprotective, or I've seen Cancer men, especially, they're too clingy when it's not balanced properly. Okay, but Cancer is the nurturer. Good cooks too, or bakers. Leo. Oh, I've got a few Leo friends, and they all own their own business, by the way. But Leo is a fire element, like Aries and Sagittarius. These guys are creators. The Leo in your chart is where you like to create stuff and be playful and have fun and maybe shine a little bit more. This is about inspiring others through the self-expression. Leos often are on stage in some way. Look at me, I'm a Leo. Watch me perform, right? Like they like, so let's say someone's Venus, like you're trying to date a man and his Venus is in Leo. Well, you know that his love language is words of affection and wow, you're so great. You did really good there. I appreciate you for doing that. Or something like that. You know what I mean? Like Leo wants attention in a way, but they're very generous. And it's not attention in a bad way. It's just they want to be, they're just meant to shine. They're ruled by the sun. And the sun is big and bright and shiny, right? And there's just there's this confidence with Leo. But if sometimes if your Leo is placed in a bad way in your chart, you're not being able to shine your Leo self. I worked with a client whose Leo energy was in the 12th house, which I'm not getting into houses today, but that's the hidden, where stuff is of ourselves is hidden in the 12th house. And so we got to find ways to bring out her Leo so she can shine bright, for example. That's an example. So when your Leo in your chart is aligned, it's radiant, it's generous, it's good vibes. And when it's shadowed, it could be too much attention seeking in kind of a weird negative way or too dramatic. Like, wow, that's a lot of drama there, right? You know what I mean? So it's interesting, but there's lots of creativity with the Leo energy in our chart. Virgo, the healer. I know two Virgos who have businesses. Actually, I know more than two. I know a few Virgos who have businesses in health, whether it's energetic health or alternative health or being a chiropractor. And then Virgo is the healer. That's why. And it's an earth element. They're very practical. A lot of my clients are Virgo oriented. They like a practical way that I present information, or they like how I can use astrology or card reading in practical ways in their life. Like that kind of vibe. Virgo loves to bring order to chaos. They love to organize. They strive to be of service to others. And a lot of Virgos have this teacher's vibe because they're ruled by Mercury, very good at teaching. Now, when it's aligned, you're grounded, you're helpful, you're organized. But when it's shadowed, you're too critical, too nitpicky, too overthinking, and you get anxiety. Like Virgos themselves, if you have strong Virgo in your chart, you have to be careful that you have to let go more often. Just let it go. Nothing has to be perfect. Sometimes if you own your business, you never launch or you never launch your thing because it's just not perfect enough. Or I just need one more certification. before I launch my business, that kind of thing, right? Or I have a kid, my other kid's a Virgo, and he's when he's in a bad day, he can be overly critical and nitpicky of things, and then you feel judged in a way, right? So I know he's only 10,
Yeah.
but I know he's only 10, but you know what I mean? So Virgo, but they're the healer. They're very good at healing and teaching as well. They just love to be of service. And we definitely need the Virgos in our life. If you look at the picture of Virgo, it's a woman and she's carrying the wheat. She's the harvest. She's, she's the earth element, and she's ready to can and pickle and get ready for winter, and that, right? There's a lot of like order, bringing order to the chaos and cleaning things up, cleaning up the system, so to speak. That's Virgo. Libra, my mom's a Libra. So look for Libra in your chart. Libra is air. It's social, right? Along with Gemini and Aquarius. Libras are very charming. It looks like the scale. When you see it as a picture, it's the scale. Relationship focused. Libras love to be in relationship. Like you will not find very many single Libras. Libras are ruled by Venus too, just like Taurus. So they have a beauty, or they want to beautify things. And they definitely seek balance. And Libra is more quiet and harmonious and is fair, and doesn't like it if something doesn't feel fair. That's not fair, right? And they're always looking for the win-win and balancing. And so when it's aligned, there's a very big, like a graceful to them. I am not graceful. I am not, but my mom, she has a grace to her, tiny little nose. There's a softness, wants everybody to be happy, doesn't want to rock the boat. Um, Cooperative, right? And then, but the bad part of that is that sometimes it can be overly people pleasing, and then you lose yourself by trying to please everyone else. And then there's no boundaries for yourself because you're trying so hard to be over cooperative, indecisive, can't make a decision for fear of, oh, someone might not like me if I don't make the right decision. Okay. Scorpio, the alchemist, this is part of the water element too. So you know that they're very intuitive. There's a magnetism to Scorpio. There's deep emotional. These are not superficial. When everybody else is talking about superficial crap, the Scorpio is like, this sucks. Let's get to the real middle of the Tootsie Pop here, folks. Let's peel back the layers of this onion. Let's get to the truth. Let's get to the bottom of it. They transform pain into power. Scorpio is run by Mars. Do you remember the Apollo planet with the sword, that manly planet, Mars? It's run by Mars like Aries is. So there is a bulldozer, determination. Do not get out in the way of a Scorpio if they have an intent, right? When they're aligned, there's a power in our Scorpio, wherever Scorpio is in our chart. We can be very powerful and intuitive there. And deeply emotional about it, passionate about it, right? But if our Scorpio is shadowed, that can make the feeling is too controlling, or sometimes too secretive as well. Scorpio is the alchemist. They transform pain into power. They make good. Scorpio energy is good at detective and research because they get deep. Then we get Sagittarius. So we're in Scorpio season right now, but around November 21st this year, we get Sagittarius starts, or the 22nd, I should say, Sagittarius starts. This is the explorer, the dude on the horse, right? Or what is it? A newt? No, not a newt. What do you call those things where it's half horse, half human in Greek mythology? That's Sagittarius. They explore, adventurous, optimistic, truth seeking. Sagittarius energy craves freedom and growth, new horizons. ruled by Jupiter. We're not really looking at Jupiter today, but it's a main planet that expands and it's spiritual. Sagittarius is a lot about our belief systems too, and they are philosophical. Lots of professors are Sagittarius. They rule the education to grow your mind. And there's two ways we grow our mind or our belief systems or expand our horizons. Two ways: learning through education, whether that's books or getting taught in class or whatnot. And the other way is through travel, because every time you travel, there's a new belief system, there's a new way you think, right? It does something to you. It expands your mind in some way. And Sagittarius rules those kind of things. So when it's aligned, inspiration, being wise. And when it's shadowed, it can be restless, too restless, or too blunt. Sagittarian people, for example, have to watch out that they're not too, because they're so honest that it comes out in a bad way, in a way that's too blunt for some people. Capricorn. So my Mercury, the way I think and talk, is Capricorn. This is the builder. Capricorn is an earth element, so it's a little slower, right? Earth. And we've got ambition there with the Capricorns in your life. They're ambitious, disciplined, and reliable. Think about the Capricorns in your life, right? A lot of them I worked with because Capricorn does like to work. Um, Capricorn energy climbs steadily toward success and mastery, like the goat. If you look at the Capricorn picture, it's a goat climbing the mountain. It was somewhere along the line, it turned into a sea goat, but I think that's a Mandela effect. That's for a different day. But anyways, it's supposed to be a goat and it climbs the mountains, but it's towards success and being like a master of something and disciplined about something. It's ruled by Saturn, a planet that we're not really talking about today, but Saturn has the vibe of I'm responsible Saturn, and we do things the right way. And I walked to school uphill both ways, and so there's a responsibility with Capricorn. A lot of Capricorns are like CEOs or managers of the company or something like that. There's a leadership vibe to Capricorn too. So when it's aligned, it's accomplished, it's wise. And when it's shadowed, it's too rigid and it's too work obsessed because it loves to work, but sometimes too much, the Capricorn. And we get to my sign, the Aquarius, the weirdos. No. And this is the air, right? And air, we talked about, was very social, communicative, the thinkers up here in the air. And Aquarius is the visionary. Think about any Aquarians in your life. They're big thinkers. They're futuristic, independent, innovative, future focused, friendly though. From afar, they don't like snuggle friendly. They like, I'm your friend, but from over here, right? But there's a little bit of a rebellious to Aquarius where they want to break the rules of the regular way in order to build a better earth or a better human race or a better thing in life, right? There's a humanitarian vibe with the Aquarius too. And they want to make a mark on the world, whether it's for their invention or something to do with their mind. There's always this Aquarians, and I know a few of them. They want to be known for something or make a mark in the world and make a difference in humanity in general. They're a little like almost from not this planet too. There's a little bit, the Aquarius is kind of weird. Like the vibe of Aquarius, that you can feel that they're not really from Earth, right? A lot of the alien stuff kind of too. They're ruled by Saturn and Uranus in modern astrology. And Uranus is that, we're not really talking about Uranus, but it's a very electricity, shocking, rebellious sort of vibe too. And like a lot of inventors in our time have the Aquarius vibe. And when it's aligned, very original ideas and humanitarian. And when it's shadowed, well, like I said, too detached. Try giving an Aquarius a hug. See what they do. They're like all stiff and, ooh, no, thank you. They don't like that. And they can get overly detached, too much in their brain, too much rebelliousness, too much up here, right? Too much in la la land almost, right? So I'm lucky because I have two Cancer placements, Cancer rising, Cancer moon, that makes me a different kind of Aquarius. I like cuddles and snuggles and things like that because of my Cancer. So they kind of balance each other out. But yeah, detached and rebellious, kind of being a rebel for no reason sometimes too, just to be a rebel because they're like, there's a hippie vibe to Aquarius too. Like there's like, you'll see a lot of Aquarian guys, the older ones still have long hair, for example, or some kind of hippie vibe shirt. They like astrology. Anyways, you'll start noticing. But then we got Pisces. I know Juanita's a Pisces, Pisces sun. She's the mystic. She's from the water element. Um, Very empathic towards and compassionate towards others and animals, for example. There's the intuition and dreamy, and Pisces energy feels and absorbs everything. So half of the stuff Juanita's carrying when she's feeling like shit one day is half of it's not from her. It's from other people that she's carrying, absorbing their energy. Important for Juanita as a Pisces to take a lot of salt baths and spray herself down with essential oils and use cleansing crystals and do walking barefoot on the grass and anything she could, hugging a tree, anything she can do to ground away the energy that she's absorbed over the day from everyone
Oh,
else.
that's so true. That's so true.
And you Juanita, Pisces is a very good way to connect to the unseen realms.
Hmm.
Um, and they're ruled by Jupiter, which is a spiritual planet in ancient astrology, which I'll eventually be teaching you all about that. That's why I wanted you to pull your chart as whole sign houses. But in modern astrology, Neptune rules you, and Neptune is underwater, like Pisces, the fish. When you're underwater, it looks cloudy. It's a different world. It's like space, but space underwater. Like it's different. It's dreamy. It's out of this world, baby. And a lot of Pisces don't feel comfortable. Like Aquarius don't feel comfortable on Earth. Pisces don't feel comfortable on Earth too. You know that you're from some other planet too, and that you're trying to fit in somehow in this 3D world when you're probably running at like 5D or higher or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah. So when you're aligned, you're creative, you're spiritually attuned. And then when it's shadowed, there's escapist tendencies or feeling overwhelmed. Escapist meaning I have a lot of Pisces men in my life, and um my dad drank a lot. He doesn't anymore 'cause he's too old for it, but he used to escape a lot through drinking. And my hubby also probably drinks too much beer too. And I think that there, for Pisces men anyway, that I've seen, there can be a tendency. They care so much about their work. They care so much about stuff that they want to escape through film, watching movies, and probably too much beer. You know what I mean? Like that can happen too. So Pisces people have to watch out for that kind of stuff and deal with the overwhelm, and that has a lot to do with absorbing energies from other people. Okay, now it's your turn. What we're gonna do now is take a piece of paper, and you've pulled your chart. So now you're going to look at your sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Okay. And you're going to write or circle on your chart if you can print it out. But I like to write it down because when I write things down, it sticks in my brain. So I know my sun is in Aquarius. So I'll put Aquarius next to it. And my moon is in Cancer, so I'll do that. My Mercury is in Capricorn. And my Venus is in Aquarius. And my Mars is in Leo. So you do the same on your piece of paper. Okay. Write them down. Take a moment. And then what we'll do on this next slide is you can just grab some keywords I wrote for you here. So then we can make like a little bit of a profile, right? And I'll be giving you guys the slides at some point here, but if you want, just take a screenshot of this if you don't screenshot anything, screenshot at least this one. Because then you can grab some of my words and make a profile for someone. Let's say, okay, let's try Juanita. You said your sun is in Pisces, so you have a Pisces, you're a Pisces person. And then what was your moon? You still here,
My
Juanita?
moon was,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
my moon was Aries.
Okay, cool. Oh, your Aries and Pisces fight together then. So
I
Pisces
know.
water wants to fight with the Aries moon, right?
Yeah.
So we could say for Juanita, just taking those two, because the sun can be a lot about how you work too. Like it's your main thing, it's your main theme. But I like to think of it as like how you do your work or your impact to the world. So we could say, well, Juanita is an intuitive, compassionate um person. Let's say I don't know what you did. I didn't know that you were a card reader. Let's pretend I didn't know that. Okay, well, I could say she's an intuitive, compassionate person, and she's able to do her job with bravery and confidence, as an Aries moon, right? Like,
hmm
yeah. And then what was your Mercury, the way you talk to people or whatever? What was your Mercury?
Pisces.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So you're very intuitive, communicator, spiritual person. Yeah.
hmm
And so you could say her thoughts are she thinks like her thoughts are dreamy, and
hmm
she may be interested in music, Pisces, or
hmm
film or art, the way Mercury thinks and talks, right?
Yeah.
So if like let's say the man was trying to get Juanita to be his date, he could focus on her Mercury and uh take her to one of those things, ask her if she'd be interested in watching a film or going to a music thing or to an art hub or something like that with him. And
hmm
then he would look at her Venus. So what's your Venus, Juanita?
Capricorn.
Okay, so you need oh, that would be fun for you guys to go to a comedy show that is like a Seinfeld humor. Um
Yep.
Yeah, you probably like the little bit of a dry humor vibe there with the Venus in there. Venus likes to have fun, but with Capricorn jacket, right? The Capricorn jacket.
hmm
So you need something that feels responsible, though. You will not like to have the man take you to some kind of dangerous, irresponsible, against the law thing, or like it has to be like Capricorn Venus wants there to be some structure and responsibility, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go skydiving
right.
on that would skydiving or cliff diving or anything like that. Yeah, that's not my jam. And
That is so funny. And so I did a profile for myself too, because this is my profile. So
Mhm,
Trina, I should have wrote Trina's profile. I'm a sun in Aquarius, so I'm a friendly. I'm an air sign, right? That's another thing
mhm.
too. When you're writing down your thing, you can see how many waters, how many airs, how many earths are in your top 5 here, right?
Yep.
Obviously I got a mix, so that's cool. But I'm a friendly, innovative, independent thinker who shines by being original, different. My moon in Cancer means that Trina is a deeply intuitive nurturer who feels everything and protects what they love. And
hmm
the Mercury in Capricorn, which is in a way, it's sort of similar. Juanita, that's probably why me and you get along, is because we both have you have Venus in Capricorn and I have Mercury in Capricorn. So there's a vibe
Yep.
there. And thinking, speaking practically, and I plan for long-term success, right? And then my
hmm
Venus is in Aquarius, and Venus in Aquarius because Aquarius has a little bit of a hippy dippy vibe. There's a freedom. The problem with Aquarius wants their lover, Venus, to be friends and lovers, but that's kind of actually sort of mm, pretty hard to come by, if not impossible, right?
Yeah.
So, but as long as my Venus in Aquarius feels like I'm free to be myself and not constricted, well, then I'll stick around, right? But I do
Hmm.
value friendships. And in any relationship like that, friendship is important for a Venus and Aquarius person. Remember, Venus is what we love. And then my Mars, where do I have some action? What's in Leo? That's probably why I have big hair, because everybody always talks about my hair. But Mars is where your vitality is, and I'm a passionate creator who leads with heart, courage, and flair. Okay,
Hmm.
so that'd be that. And then tomorrow, when you come back tomorrow at the same time, we're going to talk about the houses, the stage. And you're going to love this part where we add another layer. If the planets are the actors and those zodiac signs are the costumes, well, then these houses are the stages that they perform on. And so you're going to see tomorrow, we're going to talk about each of the houses. See the life areas, there's 12 of them, and how that would fit, right? Your little sign in Leo in the second house. What does that mean? It's the second house of money, by the way. I always look at the second house first on any chart because it shows up what we value and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay, now let me get off the share. Is this fun so far?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Did we learn something? Are you excited to check other people's charts?
You know what? I am super excited because I see like my hubby is a Libra, my daughter's a Taurus. And so it's like
They're both run by Venus.
yeah.
When that would be we'll talk about that in probably a later course, but I'll give you a sneak peek of that, what that means. You'll always want to watch in the sky, what's Venus doing? Like right
Uh,
now, Venus is Venus went into Scorpio, so there's a lot of sexy time. I bet you your husband is a little extra randy. And stuff like that. But you'll always want to watch. See, Lucille, you're Taurus rising, so you're run by Venus quite a bit too. You always want to watch what's going on in Venus in your life too, Lucille. And it wasn't Libra for a while, where things were a lot more harmonious and easy for Libra, because or Venus loves being in Libra.
Yeah.
And but now it's in Scorpio, and she don't love being there because it's so intense for her. And so you might find ups and downs with your kid, Juanita, and your husband. Um, Sometimes as the Venus is running through its Scorpio transit here for the next 3-4 weeks. So, but though there will be a lot more sexy time for you, I know that for sure. So that's exciting. And probably you, Lucille, too. You probably had a really good experience while Venus was in Libra, um, the last 3 weeks before. Like,
Well, that is true. Yes,
yeah, like it
absolutely.
was nice for you. You probably had some good relationship vibes.
Yeah.
Because yeah, and so that's really cool. So now that we learned that, and we learned about that sun, right? The sun was the circle with the dot in the middle. So now when I say on my videos, we're in Scorpio season, what does that mean for you as a Pisces, right? And what does that mean for you as a Taurus rising, right? It'll start to make more sense now in the videos, and it won't sound like a bunch of gibberish. Now, what I thought was interesting is I pulled a couple tarot cards, and these are cool, Juanita, because you like cards, but and so, well, so do you, Lucille, but this one's the learning tarot cards. That is cool. You can get them on Amazon for like $10 or Etsy or whatever. It's called Learning Tarot. Now, the reason I like these is because it has the old Rider Waite, the original Waite picture, but it also has keywords, but it also has the glyphs that we just learned about. Now, guess what I pulled today? This one's called the Six of Pentacles, the generosity when they're giving money, right, to the charity, and their generosity and giving, right? But guess what the glyphs were? The moon and the Taurus. And what's the full moon in Taurus today? Isn't that funny?
Mhm. That's awesome.
And it's community support, assistance, kindness, and prosperity. So it could be a lucky day for us too. And then I just found this. I didn't pull this one, but I found this card because I was kind of looking for something that would bring the spirit of, and look, there's three women, us three today, cheering, having fun, celebrating astrology. And we've got the Mercury
Mhm.
with the Cancer vibe. So there's a feeling of love and um, Mercury, the way we think and talk and communicate is full of Cancer love and intuition. So I thought that that was really cute. And that was the third eye chakra for the having a nice
Mhm.
future. And then this one was the heart. Wait. Yeah, the heart chakra here, the green heart chakra for the money one. So generosity and stuff like that. So that was kind of a neat little and
That is really cool. That is really
yes,
cool.
so I do recommend getting those. And then before we go, let's pull some cards as a collective from the deck just to finish this first day. How exciting that we can actually pull
Woo!
someone's chart and know their personality and what kind of makes them tick. You'll want to look at your husband's Venus and see where that is, Juanita.
Mhm.
And you'll know exactly how to make them like mush in your hand. Not that you don't already, but just saying,
Definitely.
it's
Yeah.
kind of fun. Okay, home and family. So that's going to be a big thing for all us girls today. The home and families vibes coming up. And in the houses tomorrow, we talk about those 12 houses, the 12 pieces of the stage. Well, guess what? The fourth house in astrology is the home and family one. So we're gonna that's probably gonna come up a lot tomorrow. And there's good luck there. So there's good luck in our home, our family, and having a nice time pulling all our family charts. So that'll be good.
Mm.
All right. Thank you for joining me today, you guys. I will give you I'll send an email for the day 2. I should have kept it on as the same link on Zoom, but it didn't work out that way. So I actually have a different link for day 2. So I'll be sending you that. Well, Juanita, you have the printout still, right? Of your when you ordered it or when you went through the process to the day 2, the invoice that
I
you would get that
think
generates.
so.
But you get my
I
emails?
think so. I did. Yes, that's how I knew to come to this link. Let me just take a
Okay,
look
cool.
here.
I'll just do the same as I did yesterday. I'll just email a few times
Yeah,
the link. It's
yeah,
easier.
it is.
Okay. And
There you
then
go.
Lucille, did
Mhm.
you have any questions or does anybody have any questions for me before we go on our merry way and pull people's charts and find out all about them?
That was so much fun. Mm-mm-mm.
I'm so glad you came. Thank you. And then a lot of people will watch the replay, which will be held in my Intuitive Collective Facebook group, and it'll be there forever. Oh, by the way, I am soon going to be doing round 2 of the Intuitive Power Festival. Juanita, if you might be interested in becoming a speaker for that, and then you can get new clients and all that kind of stuff. But I'll keep you posted in case you're interested. Okay.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it was really fun the first time. I had some famous people come and speak. It was pretty cool. Yeah,
Yay!
so it should be a good round two. And I think that the theme I might do divination. Anything to do with cards, astrology, uh runes, because I like all sorts of divination tools myself. Dowsing
Yeah.
rods. Yesterday I was in a one of my groups and she brought her dowsing rods out. We were doing a bunch of stuff. So yeah, like it'll be cool. So basically what you do is you talk for 20 or so minutes about your thing, get the people involved, and then you may only get one or two people or three people that watch you live, but it's all about the replay and interacting with those people after. And you have a free gift to offer them, and
Mhm.
they get in your world, and it's like a really cool way to network and market. It's kind of the new way.
Yeah.
And it was a really popular the first round, so I can't wait to do round two.
Woohoo!